guys, welcome to another edition of Breakthrough Boutique. It's Lisa Jimenez here, and today's conversation is about happiness. And I thought it was super apropos to film this edition for my happy place. Here it is, Balboa Island. I go for a run every single morning around this beautiful island. Look at the boats bobbing in the water, and here it's sunset, and I'm going for a walk here and having a conversation with you about happiness. What is happiness? Happiness is a state of mind, right? It is an emotion. It's a feeling of elation, playfulness, a contentedness. So happiness is a feeling. It is an emotion. And your parents and great-grandparents thought that happiness was happenstance. That was the old belief about happiness, is that you were just lucky. Even the word happiness begins with hap, which means happenstance. It's a happenstance. If you're lucky to be happy, you're lucky, right? You didn't have control over creating happiness. We know that's not true today. Isn't it interesting that even in old photographs, they wouldn't smile, as if not to boast or show off their happiness? It's kind of like when I work with my clients over in New Zealand or Australia, even in Sweden, my clients talk about the poppy syndrome. You know, you can be happy but not too happy. You can be successful but not too happy. Like the poppy syndrome. If a poppy grows too high, it will get chopped off. People get jealous of it. So you don't want to show off your happiness. Happenstance. You just happen to be happy. Well, this is not true. We know in research, especially in new brain research, that happiness is created. Let's talk about the three ways and what's the percentages of these three ways that happiness exists in the human experience. First, research shows us that 50% of a person's happiness is their genes. So if you're a happy person and your state is you're just a pretty happy person, thank your parents. Apparently it is in your genes. 50% of a person's happiness is represented in their genes. Now, here's a cool thing, you guys. We know, according to Bruce Lipton's work and the latest research in neuroplasticity, that the brain controls the genes. You can actually recreate DNA by the power of your brain and retraining the brain. So even that statistic, that 50% of your happiness was created for you in your genes, is being challenged right now with modern neurology and modern science. But let's go with it. So 50% of your happiness is in your genes, created for you. 10% of your happiness is by circumstances, things that happen in your life that make you happy. 10% of a person's happiness is in circumstances. You can give yourself circumstances, right? Like I'm here in Balboa Island giving myself an evening of watching the sunset and going for a walk. It makes me happy. So maybe you get a raise. Maybe your spouse says something absolutely delicious to you, right? And surprises you with a gift. So that's a circumstance that makes you happy. 10% of a human being's happiness is given to them by a circumstance. The other 40% is your choices. Choices make a person happy. Let's talk about that 40%. 40% is choices. Well, yesterday I had some really tough news given to me in the morning. And by around 11 a.m., I said to my daughter, Ariana, you know what? Let's get all dressed up and go shopping and buy gifts for friends. And so I bought my best friend, Robin, a gift. I bought Ariana a gift. I got myself a gift that day. I bought a friend, Melissa, of mine, a gift yesterday, because buying gifts and giving gifts makes me happy. So it was a choice that I made to transform that difficult circumstance and difficult news into gifting myself with happiness. Sometimes I gift myself with massage or travel or surprise excursions. So what can you do today, no matter what circumstance you're dealing with, that you can actually give yourself a circumstance that makes you happy? you put happiness in your life. That's the 10%. Let's talk about the 40%, which is choices. And that is part of that 10%, right, you guys? So circumstances make you happy. You can gift yourself circumstances. But the other thing is the way you deal with challenges. 40% of a person's happiness is the choices they make. Are your choices, here it is, tied to and aligned with your highest values? Research proves that 40% of what creates happiness in a human experience is completely and radically aligned and connected to their values. The choices they make are aligned with their values. And that means if they have to say no thank you to a relationship and ask that person not to be in their life anymore, that actually empowers them and makes them happy. It may be sad that they had to say no to that relationship or that friendship or that business deal or that opportunity, but it actually ushers in happiness because they made a choice to create an alignment with their values. Wow, that's powerful. So where can you today make a choice to, number one, retrain your brain? Maybe it's reading Bruce Lipton's work that you can actually counter that 50% of your happiness is in your genes. And again, retraining the brain, doing the work in neuroplasticity to retrain the brain. And that statistic. Where can you put happiness? 10% of happiness is circumstances. Where can you create happiness in the circumstances for yourself right now, today? And then 40% of your happiness is by the choices you make. Are the choices you're making today aligned with your values? And how can you align the choices you're about to make today with your values? Do you know your core values and do you live by them? And wow, that's a powerful truth. So 40% of your happiness can be by the choices you make right now, that they are aligned with your values, even if they're tough choices. Beautiful gift. We're going to continue this conversation in the next edition of Breakthrough Boutique, where I'm going to give you 10 ideas of how to get present to your values and choose circumstances and the power of your choices to usher in a whole new level of happiness in your life by aligning your choices with your values. Woo! It's getting good. Thanks, you guys, for being a part of Breakthrough Boutique. Please share this YouTube station and this video with your friends and share with me how it landed for you and what you're choosing to do in a new decision for yourself today. Type below what you took out of this video and let's start a dialogue. I look forward to it. Thanks so much, guys. Make it a great day.